Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with a segment called Survival Tips Thursday. What Survival Tips Thursday is about is to give you an awareness of some things you need to be aware of in case of emergency. And they're things that don't cost a lot of money, but ideas that you need to be thinking about in case there's an emergency. Okay, and I'm going to do this every week. For the next 16 weeks, and then I'll just go on channel breaks, but I'll be rotating, this information and giving it to you so that you can become aware just in case, God forbid, there's an emergency anywhere. Okay? So we're just going to talk about a few things, and then that's going to be it. Evacuation routes. No multiple routes out of your area in case of blockages. Basic electronics repair. Learn to fix small electronics for communication and navigation. You always want to try to have some sort of a device. You can buy those solar panels. They're like little bricks. In case you don't have access to batteries. When you get a few dollars or something like that, you need to always buy batteries. And if for your younger generation, I know you guys get them little solar. They're like solar battery things that you can just charge up in the real light, and you can so you need to be thinking about stuff like that just in case, because everybody can be affected by disaster. Okay. Improvised water filtration. Know how to create a makeshift water filtration system. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there for now. Some of this stuff I might just highlight on its own as a separate topic later. Local flora and fauna knowledge, like your plants and stuff that you have in your local area. You need to be trying to figure out which ones of those that you can eat, okay? In case you have to eat, that's all you have. Understand the wildlife and plants in your area for survival purposes, okay? Knowledge in nearby medical facilities. Hopefully there'll be a medical facility where you're at. Be aware of the locations of hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies, okay? But to keep basic first aid stuff with you anyway. You should always have first aid stuff. I'm poor, but I make sure that I have my necessities. I'm blessed. I can take care of my needs. That's all that matters right now. But I always make sure when I get extra money that I stock up on the essential things that you're always going to need. I make sure that I have lots of batteries and things of that sort. All of that type of stuff for flashlights or powering up radios or whatever. Everybody should have some sort of a radio device that you can use with batteries or something like that. If you don't have a solar device, everybody should have that. I've got a bigger one, but I have had smaller ones, but I left them. When I worked somewhere, I might have left them. For the next person. But they're like a transistor. I'm gonna buy me another transistor. I'm just gonna keep it and hold it in case of emergency, because you want to be able to have radio communication with people. Communication codes and signals. Establish codes for secure communication in emergency. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's easy to understand. Basic solar energy knowledge. Understand how to harness solar power for charging devices. That's what I was just talking about. They got the little solar. They look like cell phones. Some of them are just as big as cell phones or whatever. Just small, and they solar powered. You can just set them out in the sun and then you can recharge little things. Whatever. If you have the money, get generators, things of that sort. I'm going to be going over all of these things, and I'm going to just every week when I have my classes until I go on break, then I'll resume again, and then I'm going to just talk about the same things to try to embed it in your skull to get prepared. Just in case. You always want to have extra what you need, especially when it comes to first aid supplies. And it doesn't cost much for that. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get first aid supplies. You always want to have bandages and peroxide and alcohol and cotton balls and peroxide and soaps and those. When you have extra money, you should always use your money towards those type of resources if you don't have much. And you'll be surprised what God will do for you. I said communication codes and signals. Basic solar energy. I said that. Improvised entertainment. As corny as that sound. Find ways to stay occupied and maintain morale during difficult times. Learn how to play games that don't require any money. Back when I was a kid coming up, we used to play tag. Hide and seek, all that little silly stuff. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. So don't just, even in the worst conditions, try to stay light about it. Keep your mind positive. It'll help you to get through it, even though it's difficult. I'm not saying it won't be hard. Of course it would be. If you're out in the elements or whatever, or if you don't have the utility services that you're used to having, or whatever your situation would be in your area, But don't, even though it's rough, don't allow that to take you all the way down to where you don't feel like you have any hope or anything like that. Just stay hopeful and just, dream of a better tomorrow and work toward that, though. But you have to work toward it, too. You can't just dream it and just it exists. But, yeah, it's okay to dream it, but you have to do what it takes to get there, to do it, to get out of it. It takes action along with it. Basic geographical understanding. Familiarize yourself with the layout of your area, okay, where you live, your surrounding area. You should know that anyway, just in case. Improvise water containers, know how to create containers for carrying water, safe ones, understanding local transportation, know alternative ways to get around without a vehicle. I catch the metro, I can catch the train, I can fly out of here, I can take a bus out here. I'm not afraid to do any of those things. Take a motorcycle out of here. I'm not afraid to do any of those types of things. Learn how to do it. You might have to use it. I don't have a car right now. I don't want one, because if I want to leave town, I can just go. I'm not from here. So I'm only going to, right now, I could care less about a car right now. But I can go and I don't have to worry about it. If I want to go do something, I'll get on the metro, like the bus, or when I want to travel and stuff like that, I'll catch the train or get an Uber or whatever if I have to. I walk, I do all of that. So be willing to do that kind of stuff. Get out, breathe the fresh air. Be more involved in your environment. Basic plumbing repairs. Address minor plumbing issues to maintain access to water. And I have a house, so I understand how that is. I have some stuff I got to get done. But you gotta, you just got to know how to do the basics. Just know how to do the basics. Basic meteorology. Understand the weather patterns to anticipate potential hazards. Just always be prepared for it. Even if you can't read the clouds or whatever. It's not, just be ready for it. Have blankets, lots of blankets and stuff like that, or wood or whatever it is that you need to keep you, because you need wood or whatever it is to, like, you have to cook with wood or stay warm with or whatever your resource that you have in your area. Just figure it out, because every area is different. Geographical areas are different in different parts of the world. So whatever types of fuels you can use for numerous reasons, okay? Improvise tools for communication using signal devices like whistles or flags, stuff like that, Canning and food preservation. Extending the shelf life of perishable food items. I make sure I stay stocked up on food. I don't mess around like that. I don't care if I'm poor or not. I'm not going to starve, because I do the right thing with my money. Whatever my resources, I buy what I need. I make sure for my house first. And I stock up. I make sure I have food. Because you never know, you might have to go some months without food. Everybody should have months worth of food in their house. Everyone. As many people as possible. Let me say that. I know in some parts of the world it's not like that, and I apologize for that. I'm the kind of person, I believe if you want something, you got to go out there and you got to get it. Nobody's going to just come. Most people aren't going to just come and hand it to you like that. Here you go. Here you go. No. I haven't found, nobody haven't done that for me. Crap. And I want something. That's why I go out there to chase what I want. I don't expect somebody to go, here you go, here. No, I don't expect that. It doesn't work like that for me. So I'm a hustler. I'm going to get out there and get mine. Improvise cleaning supplies, and I know that's hard for some people in different parts of the world. I know it has to be horrible. in urban areas or in areas that you have access to go to stores and things like that, make sure you're stocked up on hygiene things, to keep stuff up. It doesn't cost